it's Hannah and I'm back with another podcast because it's been almost 3 months. Sorry, haven't had an awful lot of knitting mojo. It's kind of like the worst time for me to film in my craft room purely because the sun is like right in and I have no curtains, so I can't even close it. So this is the angle I would usually sit at is here, but I've adjusted slightly to accommodate the sun because I don't want to block it out because it's sunny and it's nice. Hello, welcome to the Corner of Craft podcast. As I've already said, my name is Hannah. Thank you for joining me in my very messy craft room. Luckily you can't see the mess, so those of you that cannot hack mess, hopefully you will still stick around. If you'd like to follow me on social media, please feel free. Links can all be found in the description box below. I'm most active on Instagram, but I also dabble in posting in other places. I'm trying to get better at updating my Ravelry project page, but we can't work miracles. Oh, there's a magpie. Hello, Mr. Magpie. How is Mrs. Magpie? It's just the one. Slightly concerning. Yes, my parents are visiting at the moment and they've gone out for the day because I have work to do. So I thought while they're out, and to put off making stitch markers, which is what I should be doing, I will film a podcast instead because it's been too long. I've missed you all. And according to some of you, you've missed me as well, so it's nice to know I've had an impact on someone's life. This is a knitting podcast predominantly. I can't tell if I'm on focus or not. This is a knitting podcast. Sometimes there is some crochet if I'm feeling a bit fruity. I am the owner of the Corner of Craft, which is a small online shop that I run. I dye yarn under the name Chromatic Yarns, and I also make tiny beaded stitch markers, which you will see some throughout this podcast because I've been using them, because why wouldn't I? I am a complete tea fanatic, and of course I am drinking a tea. I hope you all have one to hand. Mine is just behind you, so please excuse me. The tea I am drinking is Bird and Blend Terry's tea, which is a black tea inspired by Terry's chocolate orange. I've just made it so it's quite warm, but I know it tastes nice because I've had it before. I love Bird and Blend tea. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm going to put this down. Pop it there. I'm not sponsored by them, but they have been generous enough to give me a 20% off coupon code to share with you all. So that's Hannah Tea Bird 20, and that gets you 20% off tea and matcha, I think, off your first order. I'm not sure. Give it a whirl, see if it comes off. I get no money from that. I just really enjoy their tea. Yes, as one would expect from 2 months of not podcasting, I have a few finished objects. I'm wearing one in case this wasn't obvious enough. I've kind of lost my knitting mojo. I think I'm just a bit burnt out. I have been describing my business at the moment feeling like I'm running up an escalator going the wrong way. So I think maybe I'm just a bit burnt out, but I'm trying to get back on top of it and get back into it. But sometimes that's easier said than done. But my knitting mojo has not been present, and it's come back. Hooray! Finally, the knitting mojo is back. Oh, look at that! I look like I got a muscle. It's not. This is not. But I look like I got a muscle. I've been going to the gym a little bit, but not enough to get any form of strength yet. So last you would have seen I was just post the Wool Monty, and I was getting all revved up and ready to go to Yarningham. Yarningham was great. Thank you to everyone who came to see me. Obviously there was quite a lot of drama that kicked off at Yarningham. I was not anywhere near where it happened, and I hope those who were involved are well, except for the one that caused the drama. I hope, not that I hope that he is not well, I also hope he is well physically and is thinking about what he has done and is doing. And that's all I will say, because I don't want to bring up what's already been. Hi, this is Editing Hannah from the future. I have changed. Watching this back, it really sounds like I was diminishing what happened. I'm not diminishing what happened. I don't want it swept under the rug. These are issues that are really important to be talked about. Women should not be attacked by angry men who claim to have serious mental health issues and then turn up to flog their book a few days later. I'm really sorry that it came across that way. This is a really serious issue, and my awkward self doesn't ever know how to handle these things, so I brushed it off, and I really shouldn't have done. I'm sorry. And yes, but yarning, it was a success. My sister was with me, she helped me out, and she did really well. I was impressed. For someone that doesn't usually knit, or doesn't knit, I feel like she did really well. Also, she's not as good at talking to strangers as I am, but she did great, and she can come and help me again. So thank you, Charlotte, very much for that. Then what's happened? I don't know, feel like not much. Just been getting back on track. August happened, it was cold, it was rainy a lot of the time. I've just been doing my usual shop thing of beading stitch markers and dyeing yarn. I desperately need to get a haircut and re-dye my hair. I'm currently toying with maybe just getting rid of the bright hair colour and going au naturel, but I don't know yet, because once you go au naturel, it's quite a lot of work to, you know, get it back. I completed Couch to 5k. I got up to running for half an hour, and now I've joined the gym, and I've started to do more resistance training, which is lifting weights and such. I'm very weak, I'm not very good, I'm quite self-conscious, but I'm trying to get better and just get on with it. So I get up and go early in the morning before there are a lot of people there, which is the secret. And yes, so I think a lot of the reason that I lost my knitting mojo is because the things I was working on were just a bit of a slog. They got to the slog stage, and so I didn't want to work on them, but I don't have enough sets of needles to cast anything else on, so I had to keep going with them and finish them. So shall we start with some finished objects? Shall we start with the one that I'm currently wearing? This is the Perfect Crop Top. TPCT is the shortened name, and I can't remember who it's by. This is in wool by Martin's Lab. I made it to go with skirts, but I'm currently wearing jeans, so I have a little bit of midriff showing, which is not my comfort area, but I will stand, and then if I don't like it, then I'll edit it out and you won't know. Cool, so it just finishes on my waist, just below my waist. It's got this 3 inches of twisted rib at the bottom, which was like the worst thing ever. And then lower it down. That's my boobs. It's a yoked jumper, so it increases throughout. I've never knitted a yoked top before. I bought this wool 2 years ago at Edinburgh Yarn Festival. It is their Comfy Merino in the colour mint. 2 balls of it. I could have done longer sleeves, but quite like the short sleeves. I can always take out the ribbing and knit longer sleeves at a later date if I think I will, but it's quite a nice light colour, so I thought it would be good for spring/summer. One of the reasons I think I was slogging with this a little bit, oh, it's 100% Superwash Merino in a mint colour, and while they are the same dye lot, as with all hand-dyed yarn, they do look slightly different, but I didn't alternate skeins, which is like, as a dyer, I should know better, but I never know how to alternate skeins on the top of a jumper without it showing. So I knit the whole of the top, and once I separated for the arms, I alternated skeins for a while, and then knit the bottom. So you may notice that the top has way more speckles than the bottom does, but that's also okay. I knit the 37-inch bust because it's meant to have some negative ease. I think one of the reasons I was slogging with it a little bit is because when I started it, I was heavier than I currently am, and I was a bit worried that it wouldn't fit, but it does fit, so hooray. I think in my head I'm bigger than I am sometimes, but that's fine. We all have our issues. But yes, really easy knit. I just put off that 3 inches of twisted rib. I only twisted the knit stitches, not the purl stitches, so... And then I just had some tiny sleeves to do. It was sat with about 1.5 inches of twisted rib to do for a month or so. But I got it done, hooray! So we can celebrate and I can start to wear it. Now the weather's getting colder. Perfect timing. So another finished thing that I have, which is technically finished but I haven't woven the ends in because I'm a bit of an animal. I've got an early start on Christmas presents because who am I? But these are a bit shorter than my feet, so maybe I won't force them on my sock blocker. I've got a pair of these, but I need to weave the ends in. This yarn is by Lofty Loops. It was her November Sock Club colourway for last year. Obviously, it's November's not been. And yeah, really nice. Came with the contrast heels, toes and cuffs. Alison, this colour is fantastic. We did a little swapperoo because she wanted my Duracraft colour, and she sent me this. And I thought, that's real nice. I should knit it. So this was my travel knitting / bag knitting / pub knitting for a while. Because it's just a nice easy one. I did 15 rounds of 1x1 rib, just normal 1x1 rib, which I never do 1x1 rib. I was obviously feeling quite zesty when I cast these on. And then I did 3x1 rib going down, so that's knit 3, purl 1. I did a new depths heel, which is my favourite heel, mainly because I have it memorised. I've got it down. It's a very cheap heel pattern from Becky, who is Soprano Knits, and I am obligated to mention her in every one of my podcasts because she's my favourite person. As these are a gift knit, and I don't inspect people's feet because it's a bit weird and a little bit, we won't go there. This heel is designed for people with like a high instep, a high arch in their foot. So it's got increases and decreases. I only increased by 1 on either side because it's a ribbed sock. It would stretch more across the bridge of the foot anyway, so I thought better safe than a baggy heel. And then after the heel I just knit straight on the bottom and then the 3x1 on the top, and the wool is really pretty and autumnal, so these will be someone's Christmas present because I really like them. My mum's taken the rest of the ball of wool because she really likes it as well. So leftovers, they get used. They do get used. They don't all just sit in this cardboard box. A lot of them do though. I'm trying my best to get through them. The other finished object that I have that was a half object the last time you saw it was my unicorn socks. I cast on my unicorn sock when I went to Yarningham and was knitting the second one there. I knit this one at the Wool Monty, and then a month later I knit this one at Yarningham because you know you got to knit with your own wool. And really pretty. This is Chromatic Yarns in the unicorn colourway. I did 2x2 rib for 15 rounds at the top because I always get fed up. I love 50-20 rounds, and I just feel like that's a really long cuff. So I do 15. Everyone has their own thing. I knit the leg till it was about the same length, which I believe is around 6 inches. I increased by 3 stitches on so 6 stitches total. Knit the heel, new depth heel again, and then decreased knit, and then standard wedge, I think it's a wedge toe. Don't know what terms are, I'm out of practice. And yes, this is in my unicorn colourway, because D&D unicorns aren't pink and sparkly and fluffy like I want them to be. They're kind of a cream colour with a golden mane, and then they've got like dark grey hooves, and I thought, you know what, that's this colour. It was going to be something clerical. All of my wool is dyed after things in Dungeons and Dragons, in case you just got a little bit confused. If it's your first time tuning in, I'm a huge nerd. But yes, these should be a shop sample, but I may end up wearing them. But yes, they're very cute and I like them. I got a comment on my last podcast asking me to look into the camera more because I look disinterested when I don't look into the camera. So I'm consciously trying really hard to look into the camera, but it's way easier said than done. it's really difficult to have a conversation with yourself, or not even with yourself, with nothing. So the reason that a lot of people, when they are podcasting, if they've got a flip out screen, which this camera does, this screen is just above the lens, they end up looking at themselves, because it's way easier to have a conversation with a face than it is to have a conversation with a camera. So fun fact. But I'm trying to look less disinterested, because I'm not disinterested. I'm very enthusiastic today. Today was a good day to podcast. I've been waiting to get back into this mood, so I am glad I'm here. I love my sock blockers. I'm really glad I got them. They feel a bit pretentious, but I'm really glad I got them. So the final finished thing that, well, okay. Oh no, I've got more finished things. All the FOs. So I had finished a hat that is in the back of Mario's car, because I finished that on the way down to my mum and dad's and just chucked it in the back of the car and started the next thing. But the next thing that I have finished, I cast on, I think the day after I podcast last time, and it's this gorgeous shawl. It's the Hill Lake shawl. It has not been blocked yet. I went to block all my knits, and the plug got stuck in the sink, and so then I couldn't work out how to get it out, because it's one of those plugs that you press down in, and then it's got like a spring, and so then it like springs back up when you press down. So I just kept pressing it, which hindsight was an error, but then Mario got home and just untwisted it and then managed to like get the spring bit up and then fixed it. So I've blocked this, and I've blocked the next FO I'm going to show you. Not this one, but the next one after. But I haven't had a chance to block this yet, because he managed to fix the sink. But I do need to sew in some ends and block it. This is the Hill Lake Mill Lake shawl by, I want to say, Honey something knits. I can't remember. But it's knit out of Uber yarn. Is it KnitCrate? It's a KnitCrate yarn. I lied. It's Ordine wools in the Halo DK in the colourway Malachite, which is the perfect malachite colour. It's 50% alpaca, 30% merino, and 20% nylon. This is also a gift that I was meant to have done much earlier in the year, but have eventually finished it. I just need to block it and then send it. It's just a really nice DK weight shawl. Oh, it's snuggly and soft, very soft, and it's just a gorgeous bright green colour, and I really like it. The reason that this was a bit of a slog, I've made a couple of mistakes in it, which my mum told me she would have to rip out if she saw them, but I feel like it just adds a bit of individuality. It took me a while to get into the kind of this part, lace part, took me a while to get into it. So by the last section, because there's 3 sections, I knew exactly what stitch should be where, but the second section I didn't. So I've got somewhere I went wrong here, so there's like pearl bumps here, and then on the next section I did the same. Where's that? I mean, it's a good sign if I can't find it. Oh, it's here. Oh, it's on the opposite side, so I can't even have a front and back, but yeah, that's just here, but that's okay. Nobody's going to inspect it and say there's a mistake on that, and if you are, then get a life. That's all I'm gonna say. But the rows just got really long. It had over 300 stitches by the end, and I think I just got a bit fed up with it, so it sat in my bag for quite a long time. So it was this and this, which were causing my knitting mojo to not be there. But I went down to visit my parents in the last August bank holiday weekend, and took this and nothing else except for the next thing I'm showing you. But I couldn't work on that because it's a gift for my dad, which he likes because I gave it to him. So I'm quickly podcasting now so I can share it with all of you. But I couldn't knit that in front of him, so I had to finish this, and so I did, and then got sad because I had no socks to knit. But yes, really nice, really snuggly, really warm. I just need to block it, which I might do this afternoon. Maybe I'll wait till my parents leave and then block it, because I can block it in the spare room. I've currently got boxes of yarn everywhere because leftover show stock. So yeah, so it's a really easy pattern. I believe it's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's a really easy pattern. It just uses 2 skeins of DK weight yarn. Here is where I joined the second skein. I need to weave some ends in, obviously. And yeah, just the rows got really long and then it became a bit of a slog. But once I got into it and had to knit it, I just keep checking my phone while I knit. And it's really annoying, so I might have to start putting my phone somewhere else of an evening so it's not there, so I can't check it and can't look at it. I don't know. The next finished thing is a hat for my dad, and it's also technically an acquisition because I bought this from Knit Nottingham when I went, before I went down. It's by Rosarios 4 Cappuccino. It's the eco-friendly collection. It's the colorway 24 and it's 70% extra fine wool and 30% polylactide, which is from milk protein apparently. I don't know. 100% natural fibers. I didn't buy it because it was eco. I bought it because it was Aran weight. It's Portuguese. It's a Portuguese yarn. I bought it because it's Aran weight and I liked the colour and it was wool. I don't have a whole lot of criteria to tick, but I wanted it to be nice and warm. So this is Jason's cashmere hat. Once again, I can't remember who it's by, but there's also a free pattern on Ravelry. It's just a basic cable, men's cable hat. I have blocked this. I should have blocked it round something because it's flat, been blocked flat. I can't really put it on because I've got a ponytail, but challenge accepted. This is what I'd look like with short hair. I don't hate it. Post-wedding, we can discuss haircuts post-wedding. But yeah, it's just a really simple cable repeat. I really like it. I may have to knit myself one. Get some more Aran weight. And yeah, really nice, easy pattern to follow. It's just one size, so if you have a smaller head or if you're knitting it with someone with a small head, just take out one of the cable and pattern repeats basically and you'll be grand. Oh, that's given my hair quite a lot of volume putting that hat on. Yeah, I've just, in all of the things I've knit, I've used the needles required of the pattern, i.e. a 4mm and a 5mm for this one. But yes, sip of tea. Aran weight hats knit so quickly, which makes them a really good gift. Good for Christmas, which is approaching surprisingly quickly. And my wedding's before that, so. I had my first moment of waking up in the middle of the night yesterday and stressing about all of the things that I think I need to do for my wedding, and then I woke up in the morning and thought about it and thought, that wouldn't take long to do, so why am I freaking out about it? Right. Excuse me. Right, shall we move into socks? Whips and hose, if you will. I've got one hoe. I don't know the easiest way to show. I guess on the sock blocker. I don't know if I just knit this sock much tighter than I knit all my other socks, or if this sock pattern just knits up tighter. But I feel like I've had to knit the foot of this sock way longer than I normally would in order to get it to be the same size. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. But these are the Heel Toe Dosey Dose socks by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. And I saw that people were knitting them and I thought, I want part of that action. I realised I knit them wrongly after I refreshed myself of the pattern and read through it and realised that I was meant to knit through the back loop on one of these stitches and I did not. So they're slightly more open than I think they're meant to be, but I know for next time. So the yarn that I have used is by the Yarn Badger. It's her rainbow something, though I can't remember what the colourway is. It's one of her rainbow colourways. I bought this from the Monty. It's really, really nice. The contrast heel is a West Yorkshire Spinners solid that Suzanne of Green Blanket Yarns wound off some for me and sent me some minis of solids, so I put a heel in. I'm going to do the same for the next one. The same colour. I was going to do a different colour, but I think I might do the same colour. I once again didn't do a heel flap and gusset, which is what the pattern called for. I did the new depth heel because it fits my foot, and I hate decreasing after a heel flap and gusset. I hate it so much, and you only have to decrease very few stitches. But it's a really easy sock pattern to knit. I will just show you it straight. It's very easy to memorize because it's on a stripy sock. You just want to keep knitting it, but it kind of zigzags across the front, so it looks really cool. I thought it would be way more difficult than it is, but it was not difficult. And then the back is just plain, so you still get to admire the stripes in their former normal glory, but with also a bit of zigzaggy fun at the front. So I really enjoy this pattern, and I really like this yarn because it's a slightly faded rainbow. I don't know, it just makes me think of like, it just makes me think it looks quite vintagey looking, which, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I really like it. I have not cast on the other one yet because of reasons, which I will share with you shortly. But zigzagging, it's really, really nice. That's the heel toe do-si-do. I use 2.25mm needles. I knit the 64 stack count sock. 1x1 rib at the top, but I'm sure you can switch it out for 2x2, and then a standard wedge toe and kitchened at the end. I forgot the word then. And yes, I really like this sock, and I'm excited to knit the next one. The other sock that I have on the go is my handbag sock. So this gorgeous bag was sent to me by Rachel, who is Ravenclaw Rachel, and the Crafty Historian podcast, I believe I remember that correctly. And huge congratulations to you, Rachel, on finishing your dissertation. 10 out of 10. Anyway, she did it about knitting, which is pretty cool. She took some pictures of her finishing her dissertation, and it's her like knitting her dissertation. I just think that's really clever. But we did a mini skein swap, i.e. she has sent me mini skeins and hers are wound up ready to go. I just keep forgetting to put them in the post. But she also made this gorgeous bag and sent it along, which is Magical Creatures bag, and it's in a mint green, which is like my colour. Hello, hello. And it's got griffins on and unicorns and pixies and dragons, and it's just beautiful. So this has been my new travel bag. But within this bag, I cast on a pair of, I'm partway through a row, cast on a pair of socks for Mario, because I thought it's been a while since I have knit him some socks, because I just haven't knit much. That's my song, diddle-doo-doo, because I'm finishing my row so I can show off your socks. I'll just do this so you can watch me knit, because apparently people find it relaxing. Maybe it's not relaxing to knitters to see people knit, but maybe to non-knitters it's relaxing. Because whenever I go anywhere and I just sit and I knit and I get on with things, people tell me, oh, it's quite therapeutic watching you knit. But thank you. So, this is in my Rage colourway on my sturdy sock base, which is 75% superwash Blueface Leicester and 25% nylon. Makes very good sturdy sock, as the name suggests. Rage colourway is kind of like greys and blacks and browns and greens and reds, which is pretty cool. Rage is something that barbarians do. They get really angry and they rage, so they only take half damage from various forms of damage, and it's really cool. I miss being a barbarian quite a lot. But yes, so I did 2x2 rib at the top for 15 rounds, and then I switched to 3x1 rib for the main body of the sock. I'm currently knitting the cuff. I cast these on when we went to went out with Maria's work and got pizza, and I realised that the dress that I was wearing perfectly matched the wool. I was like, coordination. It had all of the colours in. I also wore it last night, but I didn't knit last night, on these anyway. Yes, I've got my little owl keeping me company because I made him and then realised that the owls that I've been selling have orange for the feet and beak, and I made this one with yellow. So I just thought, oh, what a shame. I get to keep it. Perks of the job. Sometimes it's good to go wrong. But yes, I really like it. And yeah, I just haven't got very far on it because it's just my handbag sock, you know? The sociable sock, if you will. So now we're moving on to whips in general. And my only whip in general, other than the blanket that never ends, because I don't knit it that often, I've started a new jumper. I wanted to, I left a pom-pom downstairs. I wanted to cast on this jumper, but thought, bit intimidating. Let me cast on a different one first. And so I have. Living in my Wollonvine Yarns jumper bag, although I don't know how much longer it's going to be able to fit in there. But, thank you, Kristen. We did a Christmas swap a couple of years ago. Yes, I am knitting the Garden Gate sweater by Jennifer Steingast. And it's a colourwork jumper. It's my first colourwork jumper. I've not done colourwork in a while. I realised after doing my first few rounds that I should be catching my floats more often, but I've started to do that now, and that's okay. It looked really good. I'm really proud of myself. So the yarn that I am using is, I bought this at Edinburgh Yarn Festival this year. It is Old Maiden Aunt on her 100% superwash merino, and it's in the colourway Lawn Dove, which I was told means blackbird, I believe. But it's this gorgeous sort of super dark navy blue colour, really lovely. And for contrast, I am using chromatic yarns on the merino 4-ply, which is 100% superwash merino as well, on the Moonbeam colourway. So I thought it would be a nice contrast, and this was meant to go into a jumper with this wool, but the contrast was so minimal, as you can tell. I couldn't, apparently, until I knit a good chunk of it and then thought, there is no contrast. Hang on. Yeah, I knit, sorry, my camera was about to switch off. I knit a good chunk of it and realised, there is no contrast. But I'm glad I unpicked it, because now it's in this. And the first few rows are a bit dodgy with the tension, but the more I'm knitting, the better I'm getting, which is what I was hoping for. So I thought if I practice my colour work in a smaller section, see how I enjoy it. Now I'm getting into the flow of it. I'm really enjoying it. Before I got into the flow of it, I thought this is a bit of a slog. I'm really glad I didn't cast on a jumper that's entirely colour work. But now I'm really enjoying it, and I really want to knit the Eggshell, I believe is what it's called, jumper. And I have the yarn ready to go for it, because of course I do. This would also all be out of my own hand-dyed yarn, because then I can have it as a show sample, any excuse. But these three are Vampiric Touch. My dad wants a pair of socks out of this, and my mum asked if I've got any left, and I said no, sorry, because it's saved for me. And then the contrast would be Moonbeam again. I might switch it out for Tabaxi or another, maybe a different colour. But it's going to be very similar to my Garden Gate, basically. But I just like these colours together. I'm a cool palette person. I am not a warm palette person. We've all got our own things. But mine is a cool palette. And yes, I am really enjoying this. It's a really easy pattern to follow. It takes me a couple of goes on the chart before I memorise what the row is. Then I can just keep going. There was at one point where I went wrong and then had to pick halfway back round, which was really annoying, but serves me right for not fully concentrating on what I was doing and nattering at the same time. Look, I'm not proficient at colour work. I'm not the most even colourwork knitter. There are people who are much better at colourwork than me, but you know what? I'm not going to improve if I don't do it, so I'm doing it. And I'm pretty darn proud. So yes, this is the Garden Gate sweater by Jennifer Steingass, who is Knit Love Wool. And I did a tension swatch. I swatched tension square, getting my terminologies mixed up even though they're all the same thing. And I'm using the needles from the pack. I've got a tiny beaded chick to keep me company. Once again, here was a practice one that I ended up keeping because I think I switched the colour for the ones that I actually put in the shop. But I love him. He makes me smile when I get to the end of the row. I'm like, hello, and then I start again. Because I'm lame, alright? Lame. So I just thought I would talk about future plans for knitting, just for a hot minute while we're here. So I am having a pop-up shop at Knit Nottingham on Saturday. Nothing like a last minute promo. It is the shop's 9th birthday, and Eleanor was so kind and generous and asked if I would mind popping up there. And I said I'd love to. So I yesterday went and dropped off a ton of yarn and stitch markers, and then I will be there on Saturday to say hello to you all and dish out hugs for those that want them, and awkward little waves for those who would prefer that. But I dyed up a special birthday colourway, which is called Birthday Cake Golem, which Mario really laughed at the name. He was just like, did you just take something and make it into a golem? And I was like, well, actually no, because there's a one-shot that somebody has made, Dungeons and Dragons, like a one-off game, which is set in a bakery, and there's a such thing as a cake golem, which is like this big monstrosity of a monster made from cake. So I just made it a birthday cake golem, which in hindsight is quite funny. But I went a bit mental on the speckles, which are meant to be like sprinkled on a cake, which is obviously the best part. But yes, I had to keep my self-esteem game so I can cast myself on some birthday socks, because it's my birthday soon. So I'm going to be casting these on, which is why I have not cast on the second one of these, because I want to be knitting this on Saturday with all of you at Knit Nottingham. And I have a limited number of skeins that are going to be for sale there, so be sure to pick one up, because I don't know if I'm going to be putting it in the shop, but maybe I will, who knows. I love a bit of speckles. The other future plan that I think I might hold a knit along for, and I realised this time last year I hosted the Stash Muscal, so that might come back, but before that, because I'm not going to, oh, I can hear the washing machine, apologies. Before the Stash Muscal, I've decided I'm going to knit myself the Shawl for an Art Lover, which is by Carrie Westerman. Carrie Westerman, I believe. Anyway, it's knit out of Rowan Kid Silk Haze mohair, lace weight mohair, and it looks gorgeous, and I really want to knit it for my wedding, and it's like a complete lace shawl and it's massive. And I asked if I would be able to do it on Instagram, and a lot of you said yes. A lot of you also said no, so thank you for your honesty. But I asked the people that have knit it, and they said it's completely doable to do in 2 months. So I feel like we should have like the lace race along. The lace shawl race cow. The lace shawl race. And it's not a competition with one another, it's just from now, although my wool isn't here yet so I can't even cast on. But from now until the end of October, let's say, because then I've got 2 weeks to freak out before my wedding, we have to try and knit a lace shawl. And I don't just mean a tiny one skein lace shawl, I mean like a lace shawl. Thoughts? Would anyone be interested in joining in? If they are, and you comment, yes, I'd love to join in. That sounds like my dream knit along / crochet along, because it is both. let me know and I will set up a group in Ravelry so we can rally each other on when we hate our lives because the rows are the longest things in the world. Just a thought, because you know, I don't have enough stress pre-wedding. Why not throw in trying to knit a massive lace shawl? Why not? As for acquisitions, what have I bought since I've seen you? I've bought that, and I've bought these 2, 3. So I bought that. Oh no, it fell. Because I bought them at Thingy, Yarningham. So first off, I bought this, which is Truly Hooked in her. It's a trance colourway in her standard sock. 50% of every skein that, oh, she had a pop-up shop at Knit Nottingham, and 50% of every skein that she sold of this colourway went to the charity Mind, and she managed to raise £600, £500, a good chunk of money to go to Mind. And the same weekend that she was doing this, I also had a shop update where I think it was 15%, pretty sure it's 15% of all of my sales, not quite half, but you know, 15, maybe 20, it was 20%. 20% of all my sales from that weekend went to Mind as well, and thanks to all of you, I managed to donate £170 to Mind, which is amazing. Mind is a UK-based mental health charity. It helps people either get help for any mental health issues that they have, or get counselling, or just provide support, because sometimes you just need someone to talk to through your problems. Verity has shared her own, not personal struggles with mental health, but people that were close to her that have struggled with mental health and such. So this is in the colourway Trance, and it's meant to look like a smoky club with flashing lights through it, because that would just that makes her think of her dad, who sadly passed away when she was quite young. But yes, Trance, bought one. I'm excited to knit it. Yeah. The other things that I bought were at Yarningham. I didn't buy an awful lot at Yarningham. I tried to be very controlled because, hello, look at this. I bought 2 skeins of Fab Funky Fibres, who I have never bought from before but have followed for a long time on the Instagram. They are the king and queen of self-striping yarn. This is Dark Side of the Moon colourway, inspired by Pink Floyd. But as a thank you for my sister for helping me, I bought a skein to knit her a pair of socks, and a skein for myself to knit myself a pair of socks. These are only £13 a skein, which is amazing because they are 50 grams, which is exactly what I need to knit myself a pair of socks. I thought I heard a phone ring. It's not, it's the ice cream lorry. Fear ran through me. I don't know why it scared me, but I thought, whose phone is that? Because there's no one in this house. It was the ice cream lorry, ice cream van. It's not a lorry, it's a van. Yes, this is on their 75/25 superwash merino and nylon. And you get 212 meters per 50 grams, which is perfect. It says brackets 464 yards. It's not 464 yards and 50 grams, but I haven't told them that they need to fix the labels. But yes, really cool. And then the next day I went back and bought this colour, which was their show special. It's in the Cadbury colour because Birmingham is home to Cadbury World, and also I believe Mr. Cadbury owned a building nearby. I can't remember details, but this is in the Cadbury colourway, and it's the same base, 50 grams, and this one's for me. So maybe I'll do a pink contrast, or I don't know yet. I don't know, I've got options. But I might do black or grey contrast for these, because whilst I like really fun, colourful, jazzy socks, my sister is less into the bright, colourful, jazzy socks, and that's okay. That's not a problem. She does more of the monochrome. We've all got our things. But yes, I think that's everything that I've bought since I've seen you. Oh, I went blurry. I apologise. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everything I've bought since I've seen you. I can't think of anything else that I've got. except for the wool that I knit my dad's hat from. So now I'm going to open August's KnitCrate. I know it's September, but this came through right at the end of August, so I haven't had time to film anything. If you were in July's competition to win the KnitCrate, please check your Rav mail, because I've emailed you via Ravelry and haven't heard back yet. So where's the book? Is that the bottom? I'm just going to open it. KnitCrate is a monthly subscription service whereby you receive yarn. It's a mystery subscription service unless you follow them on Instagram, and then you can see what you get. I am fortunate enough to be sent the KnitCrate membership box, which is 2 skeins of yarn and tends to have a crochet pattern and a knitting pattern in it. It is shipped from the States, but it's only got caught up in customs once, and I think they fixed the problem because I haven't seemed to have people haven't seemed to have had any further issues with customs. So yes, they also have the KnitCrate sock crate, which is 1 skein of sock weight yarn, and then you get 2 sock patterns as well. It's just a really fun and different way to get, excuse me, recycling lorry, your job was yesterday. It's just a really fun and interesting way to get try different colours that you wouldn't usually select, or try different blends of wool that you haven't been able to try before, and it's just good fun. So let's open it up and see what's inside. Oh, this is a gorgeous colour, and you get some stickers. Are they stickers? Confused as to what they are. I'll have a look in the book. Ooh, next month's theme is Prism. How exciting. But you get a little booklet in with it. This theme is Take Wing. Birds of a feather flock together, and the same goes for KnitCrate members. This month we have Birds on the Brain with our theme Take Wing, Song of Celebration for Beautiful Plumage. So there were 3 potential colours for the KnitCrate membership and 3 potential colours for the sock crate by the look of things. So the wool that I received, this is Knitology, which is a special KnitCrate brand, in the worsted merino, and it's in the colourway Kestrel. It's 100% superwash merino. I do have 2 skeins. 100% superwash merino, worsted weight, 218 yards or 199 meters per 100 grams. It is machine washable, and all Knitology yarns are made exclusively for KnitCrate. So it is a gorgeous, like, periwinkle blue with flashes of like a burnt dusky pink colour. Good at describing colours, me, with some purple as well. And they're both the same. Beautiful. It's really soft and squishy. So you could have had Bohemian Waxwing, which is this top one, Kestrel, which is this one. It's got the little inspiration picture next to it as well, which is pretty cool. And then this bottom one is European Robin. I would have loved the Robin colourway, but that's okay. This colourway is more my jam. Also Bohemian Waxwing would have been beautiful. And then in the sock crate you could have had Raven, which is like this dark blue colour. And then this one is Pygmy Tyrant, which looks like he's got really cool hairstyle. And then this bottom one is the Rufous-backed Kingfisher, which I did not know nature could be. I mean, I did know nature could be these colours, but you know how you sometimes forget that how beautiful nature is. So the patterns, they've put them all on one page, which they never usually do, and I love this. So you could make yourself some 80s glam leg warmers with the crochet pattern. There's a crochet sock pattern, which is pretty cool, because usually I thought it was just a knit one, but they've got crochet socks. And then for the knit patterns, you've got the plumage socks, which is a gorgeous lace sock design. And then this is the Eclutner, yep, lakeside shawl, which looks to be a beautiful triangle shawl with various textures and maybe bobbles. We love a bobble. I may have invented the bobbles. Are there bobbles? There are bobbles! Behold the bobbles. So regardless of if you get the KnitCrate membership or the KnitCrate sock crate, you get all 4 patterns, which is pretty cool. And here are the leg warmers. I mean, you do you if you want to crochet leg warmers. I used to wear leg warmers at school quite a lot and I thought I was the coolest cat around. I mean, I was, but and then the crochet sock pattern. I'm showing these off wonderfully. And then the plumage sock pattern. Beautiful. So if you want to get your hands on a KnitCrate box and get the September box, which theme is Prism, so it will all be colours inspired by this, please feel free to use the link in the description box below, which is an affiliate link. It is oh, I forgot about my little stickers that I wasn't sure what they were. Please use the link in the description box below. It is an affiliate link. It costs you no extra. It would cost you the exact same. But I get a little bit of extra sent my way, which is much appreciated. It doesn't say if they're stickers or not. And for 20% off your, I think it's 20%. Yeah, 20% off your first box, feel free to use Corner of Craft 20. It's all in the description box below. I've been out of practice for a while. Oh yeah, 2 KnitCrate stickers to stick here. That's creepy, I take that back, I'm sorry. Here, here, in the middle of your head, up here. Nope, I'm not going any further down the body. Yes, feel free to use that coupon code if you would like. And if you would like to be in with a chance of winning this KnitCrate, please feel free to head on over to the Ravelry group, join the Ravelry group and answer the prompt in the relevant thread, and you could be the winner of this entire KnitCrate, all the patterns and the yarn and the stickers. Don't say I don't treat you, because you know that I do. Okay, life stuff. What have I been doing in life? I've just been working quite a lot and trying to get back into a bit of a routine. And then there's wedding things that are happening. So I've got my hair trial next week. I've got my first dress fitting next week. I'm still learning to drive. I've passed my driving theory test, which is very exciting. I got 100% on the multiple choice questions. Didn't do quite as well on hazard perception, but I still passed, and that's all that matters. I perceived all of the hazards, I just perceived them too early and I clicked too early. But that's fine, not bitter at all. And then I've gone to see my parents a couple of times. We went down at the end of July and then we went down at the end of August, and now they're currently up here. Got new bridesmaids dresses for the bridesmaids, so they're all sorted. I don't know, just feel like stuff's happening. I just feel like there's still quite a lot to do for the wedding, you know, like knit a huge gargantuan shawl. Someone has knit Mia of Brambles and Something, knit her shawl in 15 days. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it in 15 days, but knowing somebody else can do it in 15 days gives me hope that I can do it in a month and a half. So yes, let me know if you want to have the lace shawl race along. Or the lace shawl. The speed lace shawl cow. Because it's not a race, because we're not competing with each other. It's maybe just the speedy lace shawl-along. That works, that one works, the speedy lace shawl-along. If you can think of a better name, let me know. And that's what we'll call it, but apparently my brain is not quite engaged. ever. But I'm pretty sure that's all of the stuff that I've been knitting. This is the problem when you don't podcast frequently. I forget what I've shared, and then I forget if there's things that I've knit that I've gifted and sent off. I cast on a sock and knit the majority of a sock for my mum whilst I was down on there at the end of August, because I finished the shawl and we had a family party and I wanted to knit through the family party, and I didn't bring a sock, so I thought that shawl would take me way longer to finish than it did, but it didn't take that long. So I knit the majority of a sock for her. Yeah, pretty sure that's it. I've barely touched my tea, so now it's gonna be gross and cold. Sad. How sad. Mario is well. He is doing very well. He is still being a baker. He's still a fantastic person. That's all I have to say for that. It's my birthday next week after next. I'm going to be turning the grand young age of 29. We're approaching 30 quite quickly, but the nearer I get to 30, the more self-confident and happy with myself I am, which is quite freeing after years of kind of hating myself a little bit. So not hating myself, that was a little extreme, of judging myself quite harshly, maybe is the way that I would phrase it. I don't know, but yeah, no, feeling quite good about myself, which is always nice. Just been going to the gym and going to exercise classes and doing me, which is good fun. But yeah, I think that's everything I have to say. If you're around the Nottingham area on Saturday, please come along to Knit Nottingham. Come and say hi. I don't want it to be awkward and have no one turn up. But from what I remember, Knit Nottingham's birthdays always seem to be a lot of fun. So that is quite exciting. And I think that's everything I have to say. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up below the video. It helps spread my podcast further afield. And if you would like to see more of me, please feel free to subscribe. It would mean a lot. And yeah, follow me on social media if you want. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing more, see frequent shop update posts and Instagram stories and stuff. And yeah, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!